What's up everybody, I am Brian, this is the Gecko Lab, and right here I've got the Thrive Hexagon Terrarium. Alright, so I know you guys have been waiting for it for a while. I finally got one of these. My local PetSmart got them in stock. I actually bought two of these guys. One of them is right here. I'm gonna bust it open, show you everything about it, do a full review on it, and talk about it compared to the other Thrive terrariums I have reviewed. Now, real quick, I did the Thrive 18 by 18 by 24 Rainforest Essentials kit. You can see that video, link in the doobly-doo below. I also did a whole series of videos on the Thrive Crescent Vertical Terrarium. Those are linked below too, but for those of you that didn't watch them, here's the quick recap. I liked it. I kind of liked it. I liked it a little less, and then all my geckos escaped from it, and I didn't like it anymore. Check all that out in the other videos below. But I had a ton of people asking me to review this one, so I finally got a couple of them, and we are going to have a look. Let's get right into it. I have reviewed a number of these Thrive products recently, and most of them I've been pretty impressed with. There's been a few duds that I didn't like, but for the majority they've been pretty good. This one has gotten a good response from what I've seen so far, and I'm excited to check it out. As you can see, this is the Thrive Hexagon Terrarium. Pretty interesting. This is a 20-gallon tank, so it's a little bigger. That Crescent vertical cage that I did I think it was 18.5 gallons, but then it had that background in it that took up a lot of space, so realistically it was probably about a 14-gallon usable space tank. This one is a full 20-galloner. Comes with a whole bunch of stuff like how you can decorate it and some recommended products they sell, I guess, that you can pick up for it. Kind of interesting. Nothing too impressive there. This totally useless piece of plastic they put on top for some reason. Not sure what that's about. And then we'll slide it over. Get that bottom piece off. Anything interesting on here? No. It just says, oh, ideal for anoles, chameleons, crested geckos, tree frogs, and green tree pythons. I would fairly agree with all that. I wouldn't do a chameleon in here because they generally need a cage with more airflow, but everything else I think would be good in here. This would be a good cage for a variety of different things. Now, I do have two hexagon cages of my own. Hexagon? Yeah, not octagon, hexagon. I do have two hexagon cages of my own that I've showed off in the past. One of those is actually the cage my very first crested geckos came in. I bought two crested geckos off Craigslist. They came in a hexagon cage with a stand, and I've had that cage for like 12, 15 years now, something like that. Long time. Love that cage. It's got a tokay gecko in it right now, actually. And my morning gecko colony is in one of the other ones. I've shown that off in other videos. My big problem with those is those were actually converted fish tanks that I made custom tops for. It's just a wood top that I cut a screen into, and then I got clips that hold it on. The big thing that sold me on this tank right off the bat is this. I have never seen a hexagon tank. Oh no, it's taped down. Wait for it. That big reveal moment was a total fail. I've never seen a hexagon tank with, take two. I have never seen a hexagon tank with a front opening door before. This is so useful. My tanks are nice because you can open the top, but then you have to reach. I mean, you can see it's pretty tall. It's difficult to reach all the way down to the bottom. If you've got small geckos in here, they go running everywhere when you stick your arm in there. It's a little bit difficult to access. This one, front opening door, I absolutely love it. It's got a good secure lock. The top part does not flex and come open like the Thrive Rainforest Kit 1 did. Super secure door, sturdy glass. I like this. It's good thick glass. It's built together sturdy. The door doesn't rattle, doesn't move, doesn't wiggle. I really like the build on this tank. This is really nice. It does look as if it is silicone sealed at the bottom edges, so you can put water in this. If you wanted a water feature, you could fill about 3 or 4 inches of water in the bottom of this cage. It will hold water. That is a plus. I'm debating if I'm going to do a full build on one of these and make it a big bioactive vivarium. I wasn't planning on doing that, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of thinking maybe that's the way to go with this tank. That might be the thing to do. I don't know. We'll think about that. But front opening door, I really love that feature. That is one of my favorite things about this tank. There's not a whole lot to review on this. They're fairly plain. Real quick, I'm going to look at just your basic safety instruction manual thing. So interestingly, in here, it does give you pictures and specs of all the different Thrive cages, their whole lineup. The only one I haven't looked at yet is the 20-gallon corner terrarium, which I am going to check that out because I've had people ask about that. I've heard good things about it, so I do want to see that one. But so far, this is easily my favorite Thrive tank that I've seen. The lid comes off with these little clips. You just push in and pop the lid right off. And then this does have their opening port for their fogger. They make a fogger that you can fit in here. You can open this up if you have your own fogger that you want to put in, or you can just keep just the little slot open if you would like to feed in a power cord for a pump or a waterfall, or just a single water line for an automatic mister, something like that. Very useful. Big plus to me that the top comes off on. That was one of my big complaints on the Crescent vertical terrarium, is the top was not removable and the background was not removable. I have had several people tell me on the Crescent one, you can cut the background out pretty easy. It's not that difficult to do. So that's a plus. If you don't like that background in the Crescent tank, you can cut it out, I hear. But again, that tank's kind of dangerous. Small geckos can get right out of it. So watch my reviews on those if you're interested in that tank. It is a cool looking tank, but this one I think is much more useful. You've got big flat side panels. Again, the Crescent terrarium looked beautiful, but with no flat sides. It had two big curved front doors. There was nowhere to stick plants, stick feeding dishes, stick suction cups to hang vines. It's extremely difficult to decorate unless you cut that whole background out. There's nowhere to hang anything, so it's hard to decorate. This one, big flat wide surfaces, easy to decorate. It would be easy to build on. You could easily do a custom background, make this a nice live planted vivarium. The top comes off so you can reach in, you can build, you can do whatever you want. It does have that screen top from Thrive that I'm not crazy about, just because it's a fairly thick mesh. And I have wondered how much of the UV light, if you put a UV bulb on top, this would block. I think it would probably block a decent amount of it. Whether or not it would be enough to affect your geckos, I don't know. Just a thought that I've had. Other than that, I don't really see any downsides to this tank. I really like this tank. I'm not real sure if there's anything else to cover. I am going to show you. I bought two of these, like I said. So I'm going to go get my other one real quick, and I'm going to show you what I did with it. So here is my second Thrive Hexagon terrarium that I bought. Like I said, I picked up two of these. I had to wait a while for my local PetSmart to get them back in stock, but when they did, I bought both that they had, and I used one for my main morning gecko breeder colony. Now I'm going to show you real quick how I did this. I buy these ladders I get them from PetSmart, and they're actually in the bird section. They make them for birds to climb on, but they work really well in these cages because you can actually put the ladder in there and then hang the plants over it like this, and it gives the geckos a lot of space to climb and the plants to hide in and stuff, and they really like it. And then I put these fish tank decorations. I get ones that are like little houses that are hollow on the inside, and I put a couple of those in there throughout the terrarium, and the geckos tend to lay their eggs inside those. They'll stick the eggs up inside them because it's a good hiding spot, and then when they fill it with eggs, I can take the whole thing out, put it in another empty tank, and let the babies hatch out in there. And that's the way that I can breed my morning geckos, because if the eggs hatch out in the tank, the adults will eat them. So you've got to have them lay on something that you can then move. And you can see I've also got a very messy Pangea acrylic food dish over there. These guys make a big mess of their food when they eat, so I got to take that out and clean it every once a week or so. I take it out and soak it. And other than that, it's a fairly simple setup. I just wanted to show you guys this to give you an idea of how my morning geckos are kept while I did this review video. I'm really liking this cage. No geckos have escaped from this cage, so that is a big plus. They've been in here for about a week now, and I haven't had any issues with them getting out. So much happier with this one than I was with the Thrive Crescent vertical terrarium. I highly recommend this, really for a lot of reptiles, almost anything you can fit in here. Good cage, very sturdy, highly versatile. You can use it for a lot. You can customize it in a lot of ways. I really like it. So thank you guys for watching today. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything, ask me down below in the comments. Of course, I'll put links to where you can pick this up. You just check out every local PetSmart, or you can order it off their website. You can see that down in the description as well. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Brian, Altitude Exotics, altitudeexotics.com/AE Geckos on Facebook and Instagram. I'll see you all soon.